Hello, everybody. Um, okay, let's see. All right, good evening, everybody. Um, so, all right, this is my first time live on YouTube in a long time. Normally, I upload my stuff to YouTube. But anyway, I'm going to start going live every night so you don't have to watch a replay. You can come see me live every night that I'm on. Um, you can come see me live on YouTube now and on TikTok. Good evening to both of y'all. I will also, I think starting tomorrow, go live on Instagram at the same time. So I'm going to attempt to coordinate three phones and go live on all three platforms at the same time. I am leaving out Facebook, not going live on there anymore at night. Just simply because you got to go where you're shown love. So it is what it is. So anyway, please remember I am TexanTish Tillis on all platforms. That's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay, so tonight my topic is, and I'm sorry, yeah, okay. Tonight my topic is, good gravy. Setting yourself up for success. I'm sorry. So, and I'm dressed like this. I'm sorry. I know it looks weird, but I took my shower and forgot about my live and I put on my nightgown. So, I just needed to put something on over my nightgown and that's why I'm wearing a vest inside. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Setting yourself up for success. Going to be brief tonight, but I just want to talk about, remember, as I always say every night, there are 100 different steps to success that you need to incorporate. And the more you practice the different steps, the easier they will become. You will not have to, you'll stop looking at them as this huge mountain you have to climb. And remember what I said the other night? I said they will start to become cousins, the different steps to success. Instead of looking like they're individual things, you'll realize, oh, wow, they're really intermingled and they all make sense. Everything that Tish talks about makes sense and they go together. Okay, so hopefully you will get to the point where you're able to see that at some point in time. This is driving me crazy because my camera lens for YouTube is not as clear as I would like it to be. And so it's driving me crazy while I'm looking at myself. And of course, of all the times, I don't have anything to clean the camera lens with. So it's just gonna have to drive me crazy. Sorry, YouTube. But anyway, so setting yourself up for success, what does that mean? What does it look like? Well, I want you to think of it the same way that you would think of what you would do for your child if you had the money to do it, or what maybe you wish that your parents had been able to do for you. Setting yourself up for success. Successful people, when they have children, they hire a nanny, right? They don't try and do everything. They don't they know that having somebody who can assist is better than them just doing everything by themselves. So they hire a nanny or an assistant. A lot of these tradwives and people like that have nannies and assistants. You never see them, of course, they're behind the scenes, but they're there making everything run smoothly. So they have somebody who can make sure want to make sure at the end of the day that their child's every need is met. That is the whole point. They want to make sure every need of their child is met. And then what else do? They immediately, as soon as their child is born, they go and put them on the list for an exclusive prep school so that when their child in a couple years is old enough to go to school, they'll be able to get into the most exclusive prep school. They want to make sure that that child is set up for success, that that child has every advantage. So successful people are reading to their children at birth. They're talking to their children at length at birth, even though the child can't understand and the child isn't able to talk back. They understand that language is very important to establish at an early age. They're setting their child up for success. They're teaching their children multiple languages, okay? So often the nanny is going to speak a different language that they want their child to know. They want their child to be multilingual, just like they are in every other European country. Well, in every European country. So they're doing all of these things very intentionally because they want their child to have the best possible setup for success. So you're teaching your child how to read. You have a print rich environment, which means that you have books everywhere that you look so that the child can see books, become familiar with them, open them up, look at the pictures, and start to monologue with themselves, start to develop their language with themselves. Okay. They're very intentional about their steps. They're taking their children in the summer, they're taking them to swim lessons, they're taking them to horseback riding lessons, they're taking them to skating lessons, ice skating, skiing, ballet, tap. These are all the things that I did, my parents did with me when they had me. Um, Now, this was back in the day because y'all, your girl is 51 years old. But, I was in tap and ballet with the Charlie's Angels. What's her name? It's Farrah Fawcett. I think it was Farrah Fawcett's kid. But anyway, I played with O.J. Simpson. We lived in Beverly Hills. They made sure that my environment at all times was one set up for success. I started playing the violin at 8. I took piano lessons. I did ice skating. I did um briefly hockey. I did oh my gosh. There isn't anything, I don't think there's a lesson I didn't take. I don't think there is anything that I didn't tap, ballet, jazz, choir, went to exclusive prep schools. Um, so there are all these things, in other words, made sure that we lived in exclusive neighborhoods, belonged to a country club, exclusive country club. There are all these things that, guiding your child's play dates, living in the right neighborhood so that you can have the right neighbors, going to the right country club so your child can have the right people to play with, taking tennis lessons. I was real good at tennis. Man, I could have been Serena and Venus before Serena and Venus, but I gave up on it. Not my proudest moment. I had a really embarrassing moment where a bird pooped on me on the court, and it just, I couldn't, like, I had a mental block and I couldn't play after that. But I did track and field. I mean, child, my parents had therapists for me so that I could get through high school successfully. I had a therapist who actually followed me around. I had a therapist who actually followed me around. She was like the cool therapist, the young cool therapist, and then she was under the head therapist. I mean, all these things. My parents sent me to the most exclusive camps. Every summer, the rich sent their kids to different camps. So one year it was Fat Camp. That's where I met Pierce Bronson's daughter, Charlotte. We were very close. And then I met my other good friend. Charlotte has since passed. I met some of my other good friends. Memories that I cherish. I'm so thankful that my parents, who did not come from money, were so very careful and intentional on how they raised me. Ski trips every Friday, um, all this stuff. But these are all things that parents do who have money to be intentional about prepping their children for success. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but at the very least, you have made, your child will have made lifelong friends and connections and networked. And successful people understand the importance of networking. And then, they've got to be in the right prep school. They've got to get into the right college. Like I said, I went to basically an all girls private small finishing college. Um, but there are steps to success. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I want you to understand that. And I want you to understand that if you want to be successful, you need to do the same thing in your life. You need to be that detailed. You need to have that high level of intention in all things that you do. So, to be successful, okay, let's say you have absolutely nothing, right? Setting yourself up for success. You decide, I want to be successful. What do I need to do to set myself up for success? Well, of course, when we've talked about all these things before, one of the things that it's essential for you to do is look around in your circle. What kind of people are you hanging out with? Because I guarantee you, the moment you start reading the books, I guarantee you, the moment you start listening to the motivational speakers, I guarantee you that the conversations that your friends are having, most probably the friends that you're around, the conversations that they're having are going to seem real small. And you're going to be like, wow, I've been playing myself real small with real small ideas and talking about, having real small thoughts. And I need to surround myself with people who have thoughts like I do. If I'm reading You've Got to Be Hungry by Les Brown, right? And my friends are reading a trashy romance novel. We're not going to have a lot to talk about, right? Because I'm trying to go here and they're trying to stay here, which is okay. Everybody is ready to level up at a different time. Some of you will listen to my lives, some of you will come to my classes that I'm having this summer, and you will not be ready to do the work. You will not be ready to do the steps, and that's okay. It's good and part of the process of being successful. Even if you're not ready to take the first steps at that moment, come to the class, listen, soak it in, watch the lives. And I promise you, by reason of osmosis, if you do it every night, it's going to start having an effect at some point. And you're going to say, you know what? You were content with where you were in your apartment with your bed on the floor, right? Driving your hoopty, and all of a sudden you're gonna look up one day and be like, oh, I can't live here one more day. I've got to move. I don't care if I have to live in my car. I cannot live here anymore. Right? You are going to get hungry. You are going to suddenly have a drive to be successful. So, how are you going to set yourself up for that? It looks like you're going to start a library. You need to start a motivational library, right? So, that means that every payday, you're going to purchase a book on Amazon. Or maybe you can purchase two, because some of these motivational books in their current forms are abridged and they're short, and they are inexpensive. They're like $8. So you're going to buy at least one book every payday off of Amazon. That's how you're going to start. You're going to start your motivational library. You're going to go to Walmart. You're going to get a notebook, and you're going to start taking notes. When you watch me, you're going to take notes. When you watch another motivational speaker, you're going to take notes. When you read your book, you're going to get a highlighter, and you're going to highlight parts that it'll stand out to you, what's important. You're going to highlight that, and then you're also going to write it down, because there's something about when you write and it goes into your mind, right? It stays in your mind better. That's why when you were a kid, if you were in trouble, you got standards, right? Where you had to write, I will not talk during class, over and over and over and over again, because there's something about writing that helps your brain cement it. It makes it real. That's why we call something a dream when it's in our mind, and we call it a goal when we write it down on paper, right? Make sense? Hope so. Okay, so those are the things you're going to start off with. That's the start of becoming successful. You're going to put down the romance novels. You're going to only read motivational books, right? You're going to stop watching television, because television is a killer of time. You could be working on your list and your steps for success and making those steps happen. Kill the TV. It's not making you money. Okay, so your mindset has to kind of transition from, Yeah, I'm gonna go here to the club, or I'm gonna go hang out at my girlfriend's house and gossip about our other girlfriends for the next 3 hours. Your mindset has to transition to: is this making me money? Is this getting me closer to making money? And if the answer is no, if it's not making you money and it's not getting you closer to making money, then you need to cut it out, right? Unless, of course, it's your child or your spouse or whatever. But you need to evaluate all the relationships in your life. If you are not married to somebody, if you are just dating somebody, you need to look at that person and you need to evaluate: is this person a part of my future? Does this person share the same goals and hopes and aspirations? You need to go back and look at my relationship lives. What I need to interview this person. What is this person about? Where are they planning on going? Where do they see themselves in 5 years? And if they don't know any of that kind of stuff and they're like, hey, we just over here vibing, why are you trying to get deep? No, that person probably isn't going to fit into your new lifestyle and your new way that you see yourself and that you're working toward. Okay, so you need to also start writing letters to motivational speakers, to people like that, people that might inspire you, who might be in your field. Maybe you want to be a chef and you want to write a letter to Gordon Ramsay and say, hey, you know what, you're my favorite chef, and I aspire to be a chef, and can you give me any tips? So you want to write to people that you identify with, who are in the field that you want to go into, because people who are successful typically love helping and mentoring people who aspire to be successful. Not always. I mean, they're terribly busy, but sometimes if they're established enough and they have enough time, they will not mind having their secretary write you, a letter or send you an email or whatever. And you can get some tips and tricks that way. You need to, of course, setting yourself up for success. What does it take to be what it is that I want to be, right? Let's say you want to be a teacher. Well, and let's say you live in the state of Kentucky. In the state of Kentucky, can I just be a teacher? Do I even need a college degree? Or is it a state where, like in California, you need multiple certifications and this and that and everything else? What does it take for me to reach my goal? Maybe you want to go to a school and say, can to the principal, hey, can I interview a teacher? I'd like to be a teacher. I want to see what it's like. Can I volunteer in the classroom? Can I get, a background check and volunteer in the classroom with the kids so that I could get a better idea of what it's like hands on, and see if that's really something I want to do, or what age group I want to work with. So you need to put yourself in a position to be successful. So if you're in a relationship where there's always some drama, there's always some y'all are fighting, and you just kind of feed off each other's chaos and that kind of thing, then you need to get rid of that person. Let's say, that boyfriend or that girlfriend, because that person is taking up your valuable time. Successful people value their time. And this is the homework assignment I have for you, because I'll be talking on this tomorrow. So homework assignment tonight, later tonight, or tomorrow sometime, I want you to watch the original Wall Street. We're going to be talking about Gordon Gekko. Okay, so 2 movies. We're going to be talking about Erin Brockovich, and that's the name of the movie, Erin Brockovich. Okay, and it's self-titled after her. So we're going to be talking about Erin Brockovich tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about Gordon Gekko. Okay, from the original Wall Street. New one, we don't. The original is always better. Remember that. In movie, original is always better. Okay, so we'll be talking about the original Wall Street and Gordon Gekko, and we'll be analyzing success and Erin Brockovich, and we'll be analyzing what success means in those 2 movies. That's tomorrow. But so I was saying, you need to analyze who you're with. What are they doing for you? How are they going to help you? Do they share your vision? Are they encouraging? Can they help you with your vision? Or, you know, or are they limited in their function? Uh, are they going to be dragging you down? Are they going to be jealous of you? That's another thing. Like in your circle, There are going to be people who are going to be jealous of you. The majority of people, unfortunately, I hate to say it, oftentimes do not want to see somebody in their close circle level up. People are comfortable with you as long as you're on the same level as them. And then when you aspire to be something more, then they become jealous. And then it's, oh, you think you better than me. Oh, so now we're not good enough? It becomes that kind of thing. But let me tell you, if you have a true friend, somebody who truly cares about you, if you say you're about to level up, you're about to start a business, you're about to take some classes, you're about to travel, you're about to move out of the hood, you know what they're going to say? Girl, yes, I love you. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. That's what they're going to say. So if that's not the response your friends have, they aren't friends. They aren't friends. They are hanger honors. They are hanger honors. Okay? You have to be real careful about that. Real careful about that. Who's in your circle? How are they going to elevate you? And what kind of conversations can they have with you? If they're not more successful than you, what kind of conversations can you have with them? You need to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are more successful than you. Like I said, join Toastmasters, join a Facebook group, right? Um, get around business-minded people. Go to community college, take some classes, go back to school, look into getting a FAFSA. I don't even know what's going on with FAFSA now with this administration. But you know what I'm trying to say? There are ways for you. If you have the will, there is a way to make it happen. You work after your 9 to 5. You work 3, 4, however many hours you need to work. If you need to miss some sleep, that's okay. You're on the grind. You're trying to move up. Okay? Sleep when you're successful, but get on your grind and be about your paper. Okay? So there are steps. These are steps to success. Steps to setting yourself up for success means that you're moving differently than you were before. It means that you're not going to be in the same place you were last year because you've learned some things. You've applied new discipline. You're putting pressure on yourself. You've written out your goals. You've set benchmarks that you're checking every 3 months to see if you are measuring up to them. Does this make sense? You are doing the work. It's a lot of work. Nobody becomes successful immediately. It's hard. It's a lot of work. But if you want to make it to the top, then you are going to be willing to do it. Setbacks, whatever, people discouraging you, people telling you you're stupid, whatever it takes, whatever you have to do, you are going to be willing to do it in order to get to where you need to go. And when I say whatever you have to do, I'm not talking about, stick up a bank. I'm not talking about that kind of thing, right? I'm not talking about go walk the streets, on the whole stroke. I'm not talking about that kind of thing. What I'm talking about is you'll get a second job, right? Or you'll look for something that you can do to make internet, Wi-Fi money. Um, but you will do what it takes. You'll work overtime at your job. You'll do what it takes because it's a season and you understand that if you sacrifice for a season, if you make yourself really uncomfortable for a season, then it's going to pay off in the end, in the long run, and it's going to be worth it. But there is going to be a period of sacrifice and a period where you're uncomfortable, a period where you're unhappy, a period where maybe you had to sell off your furniture to be able to take a class or do whatever, or make sure that you made a conference, right? Or something where you can meet your mentor and put yourself in a room with people who are achieving things that have more than you, right? People who are already where it is that you want to go. You understand how important it is to be around those kinds of minds. Let me tell you something I can tell you from uh, one of my favorite mentors that I have. Um, and she probably watching and she thinks it's her and it's not you, baby. But she's amazing, brilliant. She's accomplished, successful, inspirational. And when you're around people like that, your mind, it's great to read books, it's great to watch people on YouTube, and all that. But there's something also about being in a class with someone or being in a conference where someone is speaking that you admire, or doing a one-on-one with somebody that you admire, having that one-on-one time where you can ask them your individual questions that are individual and personal to you. That is just out of this world. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. There's nothing like it. And once you do it, you'll be like, how can I get to the next conference, or how can I afford the next one-on-one? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just value that is added, and you learn so much. And it's like, kind of like cheating. It's kind of like getting the cheat code. Yeah, I could take the next 5 years to figure this out, or I can pay for a one-on-one with this person and get the blueprint, or I can attend a conference, or I can attend a class with this person and get the blueprint, and skip some of the work that I would have had to do to figure out what to do. Does that make sense? So, that's all I'm going to give you. Uh, so I hope that was helpful. Setting yourself up for success means positioning yourself in the right places at the right times. Even, like, let's say if you're young, working as a caddy or working at a restaurant inside of a country club, you're going to come into contact with very successful, very wealthy people. And it's going to put you in proximity to them, and you never know what might occur. At the very least, you're going to hear their conversations, you're going to hear the way they think and the way that they talk, right? Successful people are very different. They're very different. They don't have time. They don't waste their time. That's like, to me, the number one thing that I think people notice when they're in the presence of successful people. They don't play about their time, baby. They don't play about their time. Their time is valuable. Time is money. Why do you think successful people hire maids? Why do you think they hire cooks, chefs, nannies, and things like that? Because they realize how desperately valuable time is. Time is money. And they don't have time to waste on cleaning the shower, or wiping down the baseboards, or cooking dinner. They have money and opportunities that they need to attend to. Okay? And that's why they hire people. You hire I I pay for people to do certain things for me because I don't have time. I don't have time. Like, my mind doesn't even, I don't even comprehend like that. Like, no. There's just like, no, my time is so valuable. Um and so these are some of the things, the steps to success: moving in a different manner, putting yourself in a position where you can be around successful people, taking the classes, doing the work, watching the videos, studying day and night, thinking, and then thinking, speaking positively, doing your daily affirmations. All of these types of things are things that you need to do in order to take the steps to success. And learn how to golf. There's a pro tip. There you go. You're welcome. Learn how to golf. Does Tish golf? No, I'm 51 and I'm not going to golf. I'm just not. I have a torn rotator cuff. I can't golf. But yeah, I'm guessing that almost all of you watching this are young, and so learn how to golf. Pro tip. So that's what I've got for you. Thank you for watching. I will see y'all tomorrow, and have a great night. Bye. Y'all know that I can never turn my lives off. If you watch me, I have the same problem every single night. Like, every single night with TikTok. Bro. Okay, here we go. Bye. And I have no idea how to end the live here on YouTube. So y'all can just sit here with me until I figure it out. Oh, I don't know.